Good morning, everybody. Today's topic is going to be a very personal topic. Sometimes we all ask ourselves, when are we ready to start a relationship? I know it's difficult and it's a hard process. Sincerely, a lot of people. I was hearing the podcast of my brother and my sister, Esme and Felix. They have their own. Podcast, and I guess they're trying to start something new. My sister's done podcasts. My brother, I guess they're doing them together, and I've heard them talk. Things are basically of life. For example, have you ever dated? How many people have you kissed? How many girlfriends? How many people you've been out with? Me, I was hearing them that they're really interested in the conversation, but not realistically. You know what I mean? And I was amazed at how they talk, how they're fluent, how they sound professional, and I like that. But I think that they got their eyes and setting goals and everything. They like smartness, and my carnal Danny boy, he's a genius. You know, he's very influential, and he's it gravitates you towards him, that you assume that he's always the same, you know. And as long as you help, and as long as you're around, they're always gonna want to talk about you. So it was an awesome eye opener that I went to the party with them, and it was my brother Georgie's birthday, and at the end of the podcast, not offensively or not intentional, but they had a good time. But it could have been a better time if my brother Danny wouldn't have left them to go to a concert and then came back. Why? Obviously because I don't smoke weed and I don't give them stuff for free, you know. Why? I don't make as much money as my brother, and I don't have I have a lot of responsibilities and obligations, you know. So I have my daughter, and I have my ways of life, you know. I have to have high maintenance. I gotta be looking good. I gotta work. I gotta be out there in the world for the women, not just the women that live around me, but the women that are gonna come towards me. And someone has to show an example how to conduct yourself and how to be a man, you know. Well, my sister intentionally and my brother agreed that it would have been better if my brother was there, not me. Momentarily, it shocked me because they don't know nothing about me, and they don't ask me nothing because they feel that I'm a person that not there for them at the moment, don't have a lot of things in common. And I agreed that we all have our favorites, and we all have our reasoning. See, I grew up my sister Alex and Georgie, and Esme was too young when I got married, and then I had my stepkids and etc. And I wasn't really there for her. I wasn't there to mentor her or to grow her or to show her how much she really means to me. I wasn't there to hold her hand or guide her or show her life, you know. So she doesn't really have any perspective or any idea for brothers. much as me have. And the other thing that I looked at was my little brother. My brother, I guess we're all gonna discuss, argue, or have a different outcome, because my little brother, for him, his reason is only 4 brothers, which is Alex, Georgie, Esme, and him, and then they consider us stepbrothers. The reason people consider people stepbrothers is because they don't have nothing to do with them. I understand, but I don't consider them stepbrothers because I grew them. I treat them as my young and old. It's just the new generation. You gotta understand. Georgie and Alex, they were rough riders, and they were growing like us because they were old school. My dad still hit them, and we still fuck with them, you know. And Esme and Felix, they didn't get that. They didn't get that snapper or that que les peguen, and you know that they ground them. And they don't come from the old generation. They don't know who our grandma was, how tough, strict she was. They don't know my tia Maria, and they don't know un regaño, un maltrato, or you're obligated to do something because they said so. They've never had to do the things that we had to go visit, and we had to pretend that we loved it, and we had to say hi, and we had to hugs and kisses and regaños, you know. And I guess we're family orientated, and now kids, they don't care about visiting. They don't care about cayéndoles bien, or especially not someone to tell them what's wrong with them, or guide them towards the right path, even though they don't want. They don't know how to accept someone telling them no. That's what I feel, and I'm proud of my brothers and sisters, especially Esme and Felix. That even though they didn't grow up around me, even though they don't have a lot of things in common, Esme's she has a kid already, so she's gonna be drifting towards my way. She's always had a home, parents, siblings, and people to hold her hand, you know. I don't think she's ever had to, one difficult day, that their parents can't pay the rent, that they don't have food, that their car got broken down. I don't think they understand the privilege that they had by having both parents, and everybody being there for them. We didn't have that, and we had to accept. There was times that we didn't love going to see our aunts and anything, but we had to. Our cousins beat us up and messed with our heads y todo, and we still had to. And our grandmas nos castigaban and grounded us, pinched us, hit us, and always told us no, you know? And we hated them. But we adapted, and we learned to love and to appreciate. There was a saying, el que no te regaña no te quiere, el que no te pega es porque no te quiere enderezar, you know? And the more they're tough on you, the more you're gonna love them. The least tough on you feels that they don't care about you. And that's my perspective in generations, you know? But yeah, I see the terms that, like Felix, who's not gonna like a person that lives for himself, goes to concerts, has an exciting life, and has money, house, and has the cars, todo. Yeah, momentarily that's what we all believe in. But that's not reality. That's a person that is lonely, a person that is bored, a person that goes through a lot of life struggles and difficult. It doesn't mean because you have responsibility, though, you still go through it también. So regardless, we're going to be in the same situation. And I think it's a privilege having older brothers. I had older cousins and aunts. And I always brought out the best in them, and I always asked them. And I always asked the question, are you happy? Are you content? And I've never had my imagination wander. I knew the facts, and I knew who I wanted to be with, who I wanted to belong with, and who I wanted to be like. And my brothers and sisters, I know as a sister, Esme, I'm speaking just directly towards her, and in my daughter's hearing, also to her. She's a woman, and I guess we all have higher things that they can't do. They can't date a lot, and they can't be around. You know what I mean? Because it looks like a hoochie, you know. And I'm proud to be around old school. See, me and my sister Rachel, we dated a lot. My sister dated a lot, and she hooked me up a lot, you know. And not only her, but my cousins and aunts and everybody's always hooked me up. And wherever we go, Esme and Felix, you might remember, you might not remember, but our aunts, desde que nace uno, they say, oh, he's gonna get married with so and so because they're gonna grow up together. Or I like him because he's so cute, and I'm gonna hook him up with my son, you know. So you're already towards a way that they're already matching you in life. And I guess we have a different outcome that we choose who we love and what life throws at us, you know. And I don't think there's nothing wrong exploring and finding what you want and what you need in life, you know. I'm proud of all my brothers, which were 8 of us, Felix. And when you count only 4, and you sound like a hypocrite, you know. And I love you. I just don't like that you choose brothers and sisters, you know. You could say just because we're from 2 different moms, we're different. No, I don't think so. I think we all have the same genes from the parent, from the father. And you do have all the good stuff. I heard you talking about that you never actually been on a date. If I would tell you I've been in like about 1,000 dates, you wouldn't even believe me. If I would mention to you that I slept over 100 girls, you will never believe me. If I will tell you I've been actually married 2 times, and I proposed about 10 times, and my dad has asked the hand in marriage for like about 4 women, and my grandpa has the hand in marriage for another 4 times. I remember when my grandpa went and asked the hand for Vero, and I remember when I took my dad to go ask the hand to Ophelia. And I mean, I could tell you my dad's asked the hand for my marriage 4 times, and my grandpa 4 times, and I've been married 2 times, but I've been around the block and back, you know. And kissing girls, there's a lot of types of kissing. The number one, it's the casual kiss, the French kiss, the friendship kiss, the excited kiss, the romantic kiss, and the love kiss. And you gotta, when you feel the butterflies, when you feel your body and your soul calling upon you, you gotta at least try to give the cheek kiss. You know, the cheek. If she doesn't get disturbed or turn around and slap you or walk away from you, then you hit the second kiss. You act like you missed her cheek and you kissed her in her lips. And if she doesn't slap you or walk away or tell you something, then you do the next kiss. You act like you missed her cheek, you missed her lips, and you go straight to her ear and you like, did I tell you something? Can I whisper to her, or just let your breath, let your soul out and turn her on, you know? And if she allows you with that, obviously then you do the sleepy stick, you know, the sleepy one. You put your hand over her or tell her, you know, I'm tired, you know, and if she allows you to rest your body on top of hers, like your face, and she allows you to go from here and down, is that she's your woman already. You know what I mean? And I heard from you guys, especially US man, that what's a date considered? And someone that comes and picks you up at home, yeah, you're right. Someone that could take you out from your front door steps and bring you back to your front step. But to me, a date, I have the 3-date rule. I take you out on the first date and hold your hand instantly. But before you go on a date, the topics of life, okay? These are the topics of life. First, you gotta introduce yourself, and you gotta introduce yourself as one, and you have to what you call it, tell her what your intentions are, and tell her that you don't play games and you're really interested in her. And the first thing you do, you like to feel the perspiring in your hands and your body, soul, and you know, you want to feel that, the vibes, you know. And you tell her straight out, if the vibes seem, would you mind me holding you or giving you my intentions, like. And first thing you got to do, you got to take away the friendship away, throw it away. And you have to explain to her that you're interested in a serious relationship, and you don't know how to be a friend. And she tells you, yeah, I don't want a friend either. So that's number one. And then you tell her, just in case I go pick you up, you know, I'm those old school guys that open the door, might give you a flower, and might expect a kiss at the end of the day, but during the day I'm going to be holding your hand and everything. Would you consider that? And then they tell you, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm expecting. And obviously, when you're a man, obviously, you know, you're gonna take her out, not something super fancy, because they're gonna expect that all the time. Take her out to a place that you could be alone with her. You could really hug her, hold her hands, and let your emotions out without people dictating or pushing you, you know, or feeling embarrassed. You could be yourself. You could be goofy. You could be. You could open up your mind and your heart. You know, you don't have to show off. You could be yourself. You know what I mean? And obviously, once she agrees to all those terms, then you invite her to a date. You tell her, I'm gonna pick you up. We're gonna do for this weekend. If she tells you I got things to do, it means she don't want to be with you. If she does have things to do, she's willing to break them up because why? She wants to be around you. So when you ask a girl out, I told you the topics that you have to ask, and then I told you the topics that you have to expect from her. Hey, what are you doing this weekend? I'm really doing something, but when they throw the but, if you have something in mind, I'm more than happy when I get back, or I'm happy to go over with me, or I could just not go over there and yeah. And when a girl always tells you where you're gonna take me, men have to know exactly what they want. So it's got to be a seclusive place, and it's got to be a place that you can afford all the time. It doesn't have to be something extravagant or something out of this world. Why? Because she's going to expect that from you. I used to pick up girls on my bike, on my handlebars. I used to use my bike to go about a couple miles away and pick them up and put them on my handlebars. My bike, you know. I used to go and tell them, hey, this is my automobile, you know. This is who I am, you know. I didn't have to show off. I didn't have to impress them or lie to them. I was always like straightforward, you know. And so you gotta do the check 1, check 2, check 3, and then, which is the most important one when you're a man, which that's what a parent or a father wants from their kids. And you gotta think like that. I mean, that if someone's gonna come and introduce yourself, you know, you tell her, hey, you know what? Can I pick you up? Is your dad a cagapalo, a snapper? Is he cool? Or what kind of person is your dad? She tells you, my dad's a snapper or whatever. But what is he like? What's his intentions? He's gonna tell you straight out. First thing, he wants you to be yourself and to introduce yourself. He wants to know where you're gonna take me and what's your intentions. Even though you're 9 years old, all right? I knew it since I was a youngster that in order to go on a date, you had to pass all that. So I always went and I introduced myself to her parents or whoever she considered an importance to her, you know. And I was never in a hurry just to go in there, honk, and get the fuck in the car and let it roll. No, I always was willing to give the parent some confidence in that their daughter was gonna get treated well, and no matter what I did, it was gonna be appropriate, and I was gonna have her home whatever time he agreed. And a woman that doesn't have a time is not a good woman. A woman that has a time frame, and then I'll literally speak to the parent and I tell him, hey, you know what? It's about 4 o'clock that I'm gonna pick her up. And what time you want me back? And they'll tell you 7 o'clock. I'm like, whoa, it's a little too on the thing. But I used to compromise. I used to tell him, hey, you know what? I'm showing you who I am, and I need you to compromise a little bit. What about we're 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes late? Is it gonna throw me off the good board? Or are you gonna understand? And when he said no, it's 7 o'clock means 7 o'clock. That means that he don't have confidence in you and he don't like you, you know? You haven't shown a great perspective on yourself, you know? So I'll tell him, okay, 7 o'clock it is, but now let's compromise. And they'll be like, what do you mean compromise? Yeah. Can I have her home by 7 o'clock and I be in my car or my bike right outside your door and talk for her at least an hour? I'm bringing her at 7. Might as well show you how I treat your woman, your daughter. They say, yeah. Alright. So let's compromise an hour. And obviously he's going to tell you, you know, you better not do any funny things to my daughter, kiss her, or, you know, all these things and all that. And I'll come up with the second courtesy of me, you know. Tell her, okay. So I'm not gonna hug her. I'm gonna respect her, but can I hold her hand? The father tells you, yeah, hand's reasonable. And what about a little hug when I'm saying bye or something? And then this is when the shock comes. What about when I bring her and she's cold and she don't have a jacket? Would you allow me to put my jacket on top of her? And the father says, but she could come and say, well, because we only have an hour. You know what I mean? I'm trying to kill the time. But I don't want her to get friolenta and get sick and anything. To allow me to take care of her if she's cold. The father tells you, yeah. Then that's when you hit the next one. What about I was a good boy and I listened to every single thing that you said? Would you allow me to give her a cheek kiss? Obviously, you tell him that you're gonna flowers, little, you know, some little French bracelet or something, you know, something that she's gonna remember your night by, you know. And says only that, but it'll have to be in front of the parents. I said, not a problem. So if you have that idea, you're gonna win the woman over. That's the first date. It don't matter you're 9 or you're 40 or 50 years old. If you keep that you're always gonna have you're always gonna be in good standings. The closest thing to a girl's heart, it's their parents accepting you, especially her dad. Okay. Date number 2. It's we call it the understanding of life date. Obviously, you already know you have the time you gotta bring her, how you gotta conduct yourself. Like I said, it don't matter if you're old or young. Okay, you always gotta keep it plain. And you tell the dad, hey, you know what? Today I was planning something a little more longer, you know? I wanted to take her to the show, but I don't want to take her to the show at the corner. I want to take her all the way to Santa Barbara, or Santa Monica. I want to take her somewhere that it's going to take me a little longer. And he's going to compromise to give you like 10 o'clock. Remember, if the parent or the siblings or the kids or anybody, they don't have a time limit, run, okay? So, obviously, you're gonna gradually ask your demands a little more. Now you're gonna ask them, hey, you know what? So you already compromised on the time frame. You already gave me 3 hours more. Obviously, our relationship is growing, and we've been communicating, talking, and at the same time, you gotta accept them and ask them and say, hey, you know what? I think we're ready for our relationship to start growing, you know? And you tell them exactly where you're going to take her and how you're going to treat her. And, you know, you always got to take a shower and smell good. And, you know what I mean? You always. And tell her, hey, when I bring her back at 10 o'clock, is it okay I bring dinner or something that we could come and eat at your house with you guys? Or at least in the house? And if he accepts you, he's going to say yeah. And if he doesn't accept you, then you got to compromise, tell him. But about going to be in your driveway, not in the street no more, in your driveway. And you don't mind me setting up a little table or on my hood, you know, and I put a little candlelight or something that shows him that you're interested in his daughter, you know? Or it don't matter, like I said, you're young or old. And I might give her a kiss because we've been planning and we've been holding off. So I'm gonna give her a small kiss. Says yeah. And you always, you know, you always gotta keep it real. You gotta make her feel that she's important and her culture is important. On the third date, now you're gonna tell him, or her kids or brothers or somebody, you know, hey, I'm gonna keep her a little longer because I see ourselves going in a longer relationship y todo, but I'll have her by 2-3 o'clock in the morning, you know. And in the third date, you see something that you liked, if you got a good way of communicating and allowing her to see the person you are, you get to choose if that's the woman that you want to hang out. Not saying marry, not saying nada. She passes through the third date, that's a date to me. Not someone that doesn't hold your hand or... So that'll be your real, true date. Alright? You're gonna do the French kiss, you're gonna do the Macarena and everything, you know what I mean? And you could walk her out of her house and you're not hiding it. You have your intentions clearly. And that's what I consider a date. Not a person that they can't hold your hand, can't pick you up, you have to hide. And so I hope that everybody gets my life lessons and treat everybody as you want yourself to be treated, you know? So don't get discouraged. And if no one's ever had the conversation with you to inform you or how to have a proper date and what's a proper date, that's what a date is. After the third date, that you're yourself and your intentions are out, and of course you're gonna get that kiss, that hug, and you're gonna have her completely at your disposal, you know. And like I said, it don't matter they're young or they're old, you treat them the same. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't have the basics in life, and they don't know how to what to expect from a date. And that's reality, you know. I learned it from my aunts, from my cousins, my uncles, and because I used to say, "Why? She's in love with me? Oh yeah." Or she went on a date with me. Oh yeah. Did she hug you? Did she kiss you? Did you pick her up on the door? Be like, no. Did you pay for something? You had a job? Did you pick her up? Did you take her anywhere? No. Did you hide? Did you like confront her dad, or did you show her respect? No. Well, that's not a date. And I was hearing Felix and Esme on their first podcast, and it was awesome. It was awesome hearing them because they know how to conduct themselves. But I think they could take it to a different level. Start asking real questions, and obviously they got a lot to learn. And Esme, I'm proud of you because you passed a couple tests that I did to you. Yeah, I'm a father figure because I have a daughter, and actually I grew you up too, you know, but not the way I wanted. I grew you up all the way to like about 6 years old. After 6 years old, I got married and I drifted apart, and I haven't had that one-on-one, or haven't had that bond that I expected to have with you. I had it with Alex, I have it with Georgie, I have it with Linda, I have it with Rachel, I have it with Danny, and I don't have it with you. I have it with all my nieces because I grew up a lot of people. And in order to be happy in a relationship or in life, you're always going to expect or want somebody to give you their guidance. And even though you don't have to listen to them, you don't have to do what they tell you, but gradually you open up your mind and you start expecting more things of life, you know. And I know you're with somebody, and he sounds good. I like little things about him. He grew up in the projects, just exactly the way we consider the projects Boyle Heights. Boyle Heights, it's a privilege, you know, to say Boyle Heights. Not a lot of people know what Boyle Heights means. I'll have something to say about Boyle Heights, but when you say Boyle Heights, it means you're down, you've been around, and you know what's up. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get fooled or get stepped on. You know what I mean? Tienes cora, tienes orgullo. You know, you're from a culture that doesn't allow anybody just to take advantage of you. It means that either you come from a broken home, don't have parents, don't have nobody, and you learn how to survive and how to get along in life in order to have something, you know what I mean, to look for. And that's what Boyle Heights means. When people tell you where were you born, Boyle Heights, it's like, oh shit. It means that you've been through shit. You're a survivalist. You're a vato that is down, has cora, come from a good culture. It means that you're either missing your dad or missing your mom. It means that you probably grew up with your grandma, or on food stamps, or welfare, or never had a real home, never had the security that other people have. So a person from Boyle Heights could be a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, so someone from Boyle Heights that lives there and is around, we call them big dogs. Never been busted, and he's family orientated, and he has quota and respect. That's a privilege, mija. And Vanessa, if you ever hear the typical stuff, that's what a date is. That's what it is, you know. Now, I just want everybody to know that I'm proud of my brother Esme and Felix. They're go-getters. I know they got all the podcasts and all that was because of Georgie. Georgie, since he's been a morrito, we call him morrito, He's a fucking genius. He's a person that knows how to conduct himself, has a strong mind, and he's gifted. And Esben, I seen your other podcast, the one you used to have your painting yourself, and the open box one. Then I knew that Felix did his too. And I'm proud of you guys that you guys know how to talk to todo. But you gotta take out your conversations out of the circle and have them street smarts. And street smarts, it's good. Not. You gotta interview and you gotta ask the proper questions, and you have to. I mean, grow a little more. But you guys are awesome. You guys are doing it good. And in case you guys ever hear this is just about me, okay? And maybe I'm wrong. That's why I'm not saying that I'm doing it right. But I'm doing this for my daughter. I'm doing this for you guys. If you guys ever say, who's my brother? Who was he really? And if I leave or this earth or whatever, there's something that you guys can always say, that's him, you know? Well, thank you, everybody, and Banyuks, if you're hearing this. Hopefully you're older and you're already starting dating. Please date a lot. Don't just get married. Date a lot. I would love to have 10, 20 people walk into my door and just to punk them and mess their brains out, you know what I mean? Scare the shit out of them and fuck with them, you know? And that's what a parent is. So, thank you guys. Thank you, Banyuks. I love you guys, eh?